People used to tell me all the time, you can't, and that made me work harder. I just say, keep practicing. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. Coming from a situation where you didn't see any light of hope, the only hope that you had was your parents telling you it's gonna be okay. That's the biggest obstacle. Not seeing anything there to grab, but just wishing, hoping and saying, okay, I have faith that it's something for me out there to succeed in. There's some way I can get out of the situation that I'm in. I think it's just, my biggest obstacle was just not being able to see anything I could obtain.
What about your teenage years? In Detroit, it's tough. I mean, you have to work hard just not to be a statistic. How was it for you growing up as a teenager?
I'm not gonna say that I didn't look and be like, man, why do they have it? They're doing the wrong thing and I don't. You know what I mean? So those teenage years was very difficult in my life. I was going to a private school where kids were driving Mercedes-Benzes to school. At high school, it was 17. I didn't understand it. And so I think my teenage years was really just me finding out who I was, finding out that I got to be happy. For me, it's much more important to have peace. A good night's sleep, believe me, is worth a lot more than money. I trade a lot of the nights I didn't sleep well for the money I have now back then. So I think it was just a real adjustment period, finding out who I was.
With a contract the way that you signed to have it was a $74.4 million. To have a contract like that comes a great responsibility. How are you taking this responsibility that comes along with the money, the expectation?
Well, I just think, one, I think we should be role models. Because that's just the position you're put in. You're gonna take the money, you take the money when they buy your shoe, you take the money when they buy your poster, you take the money when they buy your candy bar, so take the responsibility when they look up to you.
Tell me, what would you tell a child or a young person who has desires to follow in your footsteps?
There's no kid in the world I'm not gonna tell you can't do it. Realizing that you're not perfect. Realizing that, okay, I made a mistake, but that doesn't make me a terrible person. I don't have to depend on anything. I don't have to depend on drugs to make me happy. I don't have to depend on girls to make me happy or gambling. That I can just be an individual without all these other things.
Since leaving Michigan, you've signed a big contract, you've had the injuries, you've experienced the ups and downs of professional basketball. What have all of these experiences created in you?
It's made me become a stronger individual. It's made me become a man. Of course we all say I'm a man when I'm 18 and I move out the house. That doesn't make you a man. You're a man when you overcome stuff. And you realize, you always realize that when you look back on things weren't as bad as it seemed to be at the time. And it taught me how to be a man in patience. It taught me how to be patient.
Don't let circumstances discourage you. Whitney Young once said, it is better to be prepared for an opportunity with no opportunity than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. This has been Bubba Paris, and thanks for joining me for this segment of The Heart of a Champion.